The way I live my good life is through the experiences that I have with my friends, family, pets, and the time I spend alone. Living my life with people in all settings and around all things is extremely important. The objects surrounding me are also important, though I typically find them to be less important than the people around me. To look at the experiences I have had and the material goods that are involved in them, I will examine the first photo I took for every month, dating back to May 5th, 2020. I have 11 photos of nature and the sky. To me, this is representative of the time I've spent thinking, rather than using material objects or experiencing life with others. In Nicomachean Ethics, Aristotle refers to the life of contemplation as one of the major pathways to achieving the good life. I don't fully agree with this assertion. However, I believe that contemplation, reflecting on your current and future experiences, is important. Without figuring out your goals and the things you enjoy, you can't find what makes you happy. When I am outside, observing nature, I often find myself reflecting. This time alone has helped me to recognize some of the things I enjoy, namely time with loved ones and time spent on activities such as acts of creation or relaxation. Most of my photos surround connecting with friends, family, and pets. The hundreds of photos I have of my pets are not shocking, as I think they are wonderful, extremely cute, and I value them. Similarly, I value my friends and family. This appreciation is similar to the aesthetics of the ordinary, explained by Crispin Sitewell. None of the photos in this section were taken because of any specific circumstance or occasion. However, I appreciate that they exist because they allow me to reminisce on time spent with loved ones. When looking at the photos and remembering the moment they were taken, I know I was, and currently am, present and focused in the setting around me. In utilizing Sitewell's analysis, appreciating the things surrounding me is an essential part of my definition of the good life, as without this consistent appreciation, the things I enjoy would be much more fleeting. In appreciating the experiences I have, I am reminded of Marina Abramovich's "The artist is present." Connection with those around you is important, even though it's not commonly enforced. Spending time with those you care about is extremely important, and Abramovich's performance eloquently conveys this need for connection. The break from isolation that many experienced while sitting with Abramovich showed the impact that even a few moments with another person can have. Being with others is necessary, and I appreciate that time spent very much. My experiences with those I care about are tantamount to the objects I have. As exhibited in The Artist is Present, spending time is both important and not necessarily based on material objects. To follow my definition of the good life, joy, through the experiences that I have with my friends, family, pets, and the time I spend alone, I do not betray my ever-so-appreciated environment. Material goods are important to access the experiences I enjoy and to make the experiences more comfortable. For example, a car is necessary to go hiking, and buying a nice jacket makes the experience much warmer. Despite this, the purchases I make are done sparingly, and when given a choice, ethically. If I were to damage the nature surrounding us in my attempt to reach the good life, I wouldn't be able to consider that path part of my definition, as my love for nature is more important than the use of the objects to make me comfortable. The second smallest section of photos are of things I've either baked or otherwise made. This is not representative of how much I typically make, however, using or consuming these creations is another step I take to live out my definition of the good life. As mentioned in the Marx Engels Reader, the process of being separated from the things you create is both alienating and can be distressing. Sharing the things I make with others and continuously using them myself is a process that helps me be fulfilled, as I agree with the idea that acts of creation are one of the things that makes humans content. The material goods in the pictures I've taken largely include things that we can't live without, such as clothes and food. Of course, there are outliers, such as my brother's guitar, more of my sweaters, and comforting objects like my blankets, bed, and furniture. I could live without the majority of things I've photographed. However, they make my life more comfortable. The things I use remind me of minimalism, a documentary about the important things. As in the documentary, they describe minimalism as keeping only things that have a purpose. Everything I have holds a purpose in my life. However, contrary to the concept of status anxiety, their purpose is not to make me feel as though I'm on par with my peers. I'm lucky in that I do not feel an overwhelming sense of status anxiety. It's the way I was raised, never focused on money or objects. The pressure to buy things will always be present, and I will plan on mitigating this by buying only what I need and what has a purpose in my life, which will in turn help me be fulfilled and help me follow my definition of the good life. As much as I wish this section would be the smallest, unfortunately it's not. Schoolwork exists as a constant throughout the first quarter of most people's life, if not more. Benjamin Bolger, the man who never stopped going to college, consistently delves into schoolwork and believes that it is the best thing he could do with his life. Personally, I disagree. In my life, schoolwork is a rather depressing annoyance, and thus if given the chance, I would choose to never look at any bit of homework ever again. When looking through my camera roll, the amount of pictures I had of homework was staggering. These 4 examples could never represent the true amount. Bolger's emphasis on education over other subjects is incomprehensible to me. However, his dedication is much more understandable. Though I do not have the same love of school as Bolger, I can see the similarities in the care he has for schooling, as in my care for the experiences I partake in. Another artist I've been looking at is Robert Tharian, who made Red Room. He collected red objects from throughout his life and put them together in a red room. The majority of the objects were significant to him, both in a sentimental and a utility sense. Just as the appliances in Tharian's work show how a family could live in the red room, I see my appreciation for contemplation, my friends, family, and pets in my photos. The physical collage of Tharian's life portrays many big moments and tells a story through the objects it exhibits. I like to view my pictures as a similar collage, forming a larger image of the good life. For these last few minutes, we have been experiencing a composition by John Cage. He composed a piece called 4 minutes, 33 seconds. During this entire composition, the orchestra does not play a single note, and instead, the audience listens to one another. If you were there, you would hear people breathing, listening to the ambient noises of others' existence. This piece emphasizes the experience and time that we have, as sounds emanating from outside the concert hall occurring as the piece is performed often flow inside, adding to the quiet sounds of the audience's existence. Remembering to take time and relax, either alone or with others, continues to be extremely important throughout my search for the good life. My picture of the good life is built on the experiences I have and the way I spend my time. Emphasizing contemplation, nature, and experience over material goods is important to me. My good life is defined by my time spent with and appreciating nature, family, friends, pets, and creation.